The biggest problem when we want to invest into our first property is feeling so overwhelmed because there's hundreds, if not thousands of properties that you can choose from. So that is why in today's video, I'm going to be giving you an easy way to analyze through 100, if not thousands of properties in a short amount of time. And it's called the 1% rule. As always, this video is going to be broken up into 3 parts, namely part 1, which is explanation of the rule, part 2, which is applying the rule, and part 3, what to do after you've applied the rule. So if you want to skip around, please feel free, but let's get into the video. Okay, so our biggest aim when we're looking to buy our first property is to see if the property has a positive cash flow. When we think about cash flow, we think about the property and then money flowing in and money flowing out. And what positive cash flow means is that our money flowing in is more than the money flowing out. That basically means is that we're making a profit after every month. So in an ideal world, we want as much money coming in and as little money going out of the property, because then we'll make more money. And so this is what this rule is going to do. It's going to provide you a system that you can work through hundreds of properties to see which one is the right one to analyze further. Okay, next is the rule. The rule is called the 1% rule, and it takes into account the purchasing price of the property times by or multiply by 1%. And this 1% will give us an amount, and this amount is the monthly income that this property is supposed to bring in. So if the amount isn't equal to the gross monthly income of the property, then it's time to move on to the next deal. That's why it's so effective when you're analyzing a lot of properties and you want to do it in a short period of time, because you want to find that one deal in a million. Okay, so let's do an example. Let's say the purchasing price of a property is 700,000. So if we apply this rule, we need to times this by 1%, and that gives us, if my calculation isn't wrong, 7,000. That means that if the property that you purchase for 700,000, that is excluding the transfer fees. If the gross income amount isn't 7,000 Rand or $7,000 or more, then the property is not worth investing, because that means that it will most likely make a negative cash flow. And on the other hand, if the property does make more than 7,000, then that means that it's a strong suggestion that this property is going to give you a net positive cash flow at the end of every month. There are some drawbacks to the rule. If you're in a country where the purchase price of the properties has gone so high and the income hasn't followed it, then this rule won't be effective, because that will most likely indicate that the rental income is lower, where the rental income hasn't been lifted yet. And so now you've gotten a short list of the properties that you like and that you see has brought in the 1% rule, or has met the requirements of the 1% rule. So then the next step will be to inquire about the monthly expenses that this property has. And when you've done this and you've gotten all the properties that you like, you then take the monthly income of the property. So let's use our previous example. The monthly income is 7,000. Then you deduct the overheads or the expenses in the property, which can be levies. Let's say it's levies, which is 400, the water and taxes, which is 1,000, repairs 500, and the other factors, let's say 1,700. And this leaves you with a profit at the end of the month. But then you need to take into account your financing component. Let's say the financing component is around 2,900 Rand a month. So then if you analyze the property like this, it will give you a net positive cash flow of 500 a month. And then there are obviously other factors that you need to take into account, but we'll dive into that in another video. If you're interested in buying your first property, I have a great video that you can go watch. It's going to be popped up right here. And also, if you like the content of this channel, I have a weekly email list that is completely free, but I'm sure to see you in the next video.